Hello and welcome! This character profile video is for the class Choryeong. And what you'll see is all of her skills, the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, her skill combos, enhancements, player card, and a gameplay video. So without further ado, I'm pleased to present to you the class Choryeong. Here we go. And if you are new to my character profile videos, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side is all of her skills. On the far right hand side are all the specials that go with those skills. And then next to skill is CD or cooldown for each skill. And then the next column is charges, or how many times you can use that skill on a creature or opponent in the world. Next to that is hits, how many times that skill will hit the creature or opponent. And then the next column is damage-PVE, which is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against a creature in the world. And damage-PVP is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against another player's character. And of course you have the passive at the bottom. So the only thing I want to bring up here is when you look over on the right hand side where it says specials, the text that's colored in red for super armor or rear super armor or invincible while moving, that just means that those features do not apply when you're fighting in arena. Everywhere else in the game it will work. So take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready we'll move on to the next slide, which is the top 8 PVE skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome. What I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVE, with the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. And your highest damaging skill is called Choryeong Field. And there's not much to show on this one. You already know about the red not being applied in arena, and the only other thing to say is this is a suggestion. The area that's highlighted in green are 8 skills we could take into the game at once, and these are the ones that I'm recommending because of damage percentage. But over time you're going to get used to what you can do, and I highly encourage you to swap out some skills like maybe Blooming Death for say Lunar Serenade, because that is a heal skill, so it's an extra heal as well as potions or anything you bring with you, so it never hurts, especially if you're fighting tougher creatures. So take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready we're going to move on to the next slide, which is called the top 8 PVP skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome. There is a lot to cover on the PvP slide of things, so let me go ahead and knock out the basics. What I've done is taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVP, with the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest at the bottom. And Choryeong Field continues to be your highest damaging skill. Now, there's always characters that come out from Pearl Abyss that have strengths and weaknesses, and as you go through this video you can see which ones are the strengths and which ones are the weaknesses. I normally would say, everyone always asks me, hey, I want to do arena, so tell me what are the skills that I can use that has super armor, and the reason for it is towards the end of the video I'll explain what super armor is if you don't know. And I normally come across with 2, maybe 3 skills for you that has super armor for you to choose from, but in this instance there's one, and just one, and that is Blooming Death. And quite honestly, it is a very full skill. It's not very damaging, but it gives you your forward guard. Rear super armor does not occur, but super armor does occur on the last hit, and it's followed up by a knock up of your opponent. So, and you also can hold the button down and hit that person for 19 hits. So not only are you getting super armor, but you're gonna really hit them good with 19 hits. So this is the one skill that I could suggest. Hey, out of them all, this is the one you'd want to go with, and then follow it up with your highest damaging skills and whatever feels comfortable for you. So what I'd like to do now is I want to read for you what the passive is, and after that I have a video showing you what it looks like. So let me go ahead and get to that. The passive is called Sorry Flower. And the way it works is you recover your dough energy upon skill use. So any skill, probably except for the basic one that you use, any of those other skills, you use them, it builds up what's called dough energy. And I will show you. And when it's full, then that means the very next skill, or as it says, use any skill to spend all of that energy to summon what's called Sorry Flowers that explode after a set time. So when you see the Sorry Flowers come out, you're getting 1500% PVE damage. In PvP, it's 1000% damage. You're going to get a maximum of 6 hits, and if your opponent is closer to you when you do that, you reduce the explosion time when the target is near. So if they're near, it'll just go off right away. And let's see, PvP damage received is minus 15% for 20 seconds on you. PvP damage dealt is 10% more for 20 seconds. So follow this up with any of your highest damaging skills like Choryeong Field, Moonlit Blast, and Bloom Burst, and anything else you feel is necessary for combos. So you got that, and then skill damage is plus 5% for 20 seconds. So any skill, which you do have Sahi's Descent and Mark of the Moon, as well as Choryeong Field, and I think that's it. They have a flower explosion damage that occurs, so possibly 5% more damage for 20 seconds there. And of course, damage against monsters, plus 10% for 20 seconds. So what I'm trying to tell you is this is a good PvP buff for you, not so much for the person you're attacking. And if you're out there in the field fighting creatures, this is going to be a really good thing that always goes off. There, honestly, you're just throwing skills and you're building this up, and just like, okay, the next one I want to do is this. You're just going to improve your damage output to make sure that you hurt your opponent and damage the creatures you're fighting. So what I'm going to do now is move over to a video and let's show you what it looks like when the passive is in action. Here we go. One of the cool things that Pearl Abyss has done for this new character is, and during her idle animation, she actually does something neat. She writes out of her book, and looks really cool. So we're here, we're going to pick on that creature that's right over there. And in the middle here on the bottom right corner is your skills, and in the middle of that is the dough energy circles that you fill up, and there's 5 of them. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pick on him. You're going to see me cast a spell, or a skill, excuse me, one at a time, and you'll see that your dough energy is filling up. What I'm actually trying to do is find a basic skill that doesn't have too much flash or appearance, so that you can see the passive in action and have it stand out. And I think I settled on the bottom left corner skill that I just used. And did you see it? it probably wasn't very clear. So let's try this again. We're gonna build up our dough energy. And this poor guy. Remember that 10% more damage to monsters? Oh, he's feeling the pain, alright. These guys are towards my level. So we're almost, we almost build up the dough energy again. And let's go with that bottom, oh, how about the book? Yeah, let's see if we choose the bottom left. Now watch, you see that explosion and the sparkles right there? That is your passive. It's kind of, you kind of need to know what it looks like. Otherwise, you'll just be immersed in all of these wonderful graphics that go off when she just lets loose and you're doing combos. But I want you to kind of get used to what it looks like. So we're going to build this up again. And let's try that one more time. Look for it. Here's the original skill, and there's the passive. Explosion with the little sparkle fireworks after it. So, now that you know what it looks like, and now that you know how it works, let's go ahead and return back to our PvP slide. Here we go. And welcome back. So, now that you know what the passive looks like in action and you understand how it works, take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next slide, which is called the skill combo slide. Here we go. And welcome. Before we show you what this is all about, allow me to tell you where you can find it. If you're in the game and you bring up the menu, just tap anywhere and you look over to the right hand side where it says skills, and you tap on that, and now you're on the skills screen. And then you go to the middle and look down to where there's a magnifying glass with a circle around it, and it does say skill combos. Just tap on that and you are here. A window appears that says list of skill combos. Normally what you'll do is you'll scroll up and down to see everything, but what I have done is I've taken everything that is there to scroll and put it on one screen for you to enjoy. You can print it out, you can have it on another monitor if you're playing on an emulator, or just whatever you want to do. The only thing I ask is if you print it out, it is a little heavy on the ink, so just be aware. Be nice if it's not your printer. So the way this works is Pearl Abyss has given you combinations to try. This is like the foundation where you will develop your own, but these are here to give you ideas. So on the left hand side in dark blue is the skills you would start with, and then the gray ones on the right are skills you would chain into or do next. So for example, at the top left corner, Choryeong Field is what you would press, and then the next one could be Bloom Burst or Soul Shower. It's your option on what you want to do. If you choose Bloom Burst, then look right below in blue would be Bloom Burst, and then you can chain it into the next skill, which would be Soul Shower. And right below that is Soul Shower, and then you would choose the next skill, which is Blooming Death or Sahi's Descent, your choice. And it continues to go on and on from there. So I normally tell you, hey, I found a really nice 4-hit combo or greater for you to enjoy, but I'm gonna reverse it on you this time. So it looks like all of her skills here chain infinitely, except for one, and that is if you look to the right where it says Perilous Waltz. If you go from that to Moonlit Blast, it ends. There's nothing on this screen to chain into from Moonlit Blast. So if you do anything else, like if you chose Bloom Burst, you could just keep going, but it's not going to connect to Perilous Waltz. That's like what you would start with, and you would never get back to it. So this is how the Lista skill combo screen works, and over time you'll develop your own. But take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the next section or the next slide, which is called the Enhancement slide. Here we go. And welcome. If you are new to my Enhancement slide, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side are all of her skills. On the far right hand side are all the branch damage connected to those skills. And then there's 4 columns in the middle. From left to right, the first one, the second one, and the fourth one are enhancements that benefit your character. The third column are enhancements that affect the creature or player's opponent that you are fighting. So the way this works is when you are on the skills screen and you're looking at a skill, say you tap on one, and you see to the left, immediate left, there's a circle, a big circle of the icon of the skill, and then there's little circles around it. Those are enhancements, or things you can pay silver to unlock. If there's a red number next to the little circle, it means that you need to achieve a level in that skill. For example, Choryeong field, there will be 3 skills, or excuse me, 3 enhancements and 2 branch damages to choose from, one or the other. You can't have both. But the 3 that you can do, you can either pay silver to get it right away, or the level will be there in a red number that you have to get Choryeong field up to a specific level, like say 2 or 3 or 4. It goes all the way up to 10, but I don't believe I've seen enhancements all the way up to 10. So once you do that, then you can pay silver, unlock it, and every time you use that skill, then that enhancement will occur with it. So you'll do Choryeong field, and if you unlock the burn, then it will do burn damage with the skill all the time. So that's how that works. Now, as you are fighting in the world of Elion and Hadum, there will be drops of these books, or in treasure chests there'll be these gold books. But I've been telling people for a long time that you can see this in treasure chests in Hadum, but to be more specific, if you go to if you were to tap on your screen to bring up the menu, and you look on the left hand side where it says the square, where it says expedition, and you tap on that, and then when the options come up of what you want to get into from there, you tap on valor, and you do that as high as you can go. I have seen gold books drop, so this is a good place to get gold books to build up the level requirements needed to unlock these enhancements. So that is a suggestion for you. But if you take a moment to look at what you have here, your character is not complete until you unlock all of these enhancements. So for example, look at the Blooming Death, which is the 5th one down, and all the way over to the far right column. If you unlock the heal, 170 HP per hit, and it's a max of 3 times that it happens, then every time you use that skill, you'll be healing yourself. So you got your potions, you got your skill that heals you, and you got this enhancement that heals you. But there's a catch. The color, why it's colored that way, is because it doesn't heal when you're in Path of Glory. So the feature in the game called Path of Glory, if you have it unlocked, she won't heal herself, but everywhere else in the game, she will. So take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, we're going to move on to the next slide, which is called the player card slide. Here we go. And welcome. This is like a baseball card. It is all the slides you previously saw, all combined onto one. for you to print out and enjoy on another screen if you so chose. Just the warning, be kind, it has a lot of colors and really can do a number to your printer if you're not ready for it with the ink. So the way this works is at the very top is the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommended, and to the right of that is something new. I call it immobilization. So anytime that you use a skill that knocks a creature or opponent down, up in the air, knocks them back, or stuns them, or anything that immobilizes them for a few seconds where they need to use or spend animation to get up and be ready to attack again, that's why this is here. And usually in a PvP setting, if your opponent immobilizes you, it allows them to get an extra hit, maybe an extra 2 hits on you, and that can really turn the tide of a battle. So what I've done here is listed out all of her skills, and on the right hand side, if there is a skill that has an immobilization to it, it's listed in green and it shows how many do you have. So Choryeong Field, even though it's your strongest skill, also has the most immobilizations. So I guess you would say you should use this a lot. And the reason why, we'll get to at the bottom of this slide, but that is how this works. And as an example, let's look at Choryeong Field in the skills just below. Look over to the right where it says specials. So when you use this skill, it does super armor when you're not in arena. It does super armor, but then it will stun your creature or opponent on the first hit. That's the first immobilization. Then it will daze the creature or opponent on the last hit. And there's 2 hits that it does. So stuns going in, dazes going out, and it also has a sorry flower explosion that happens after 3 seconds along with it. So this is the reason why you want to use this skill a lot, is you're increasing your chances that your opponent will get hit with one of these immobilizations, and it will allow you to get in an extra hit. So you already know how the skills work. We just covered the enhancements. So looking down below is the legend for what's not applied in Path of Glory and what's not applied in Arena. And at the very bottom is the explanation for what forward guard and super armor is. And I'm going to read that to you. Forward guard, this means that incoming damage will be either 0 or heavily reduced. So imagine an invisible shield in front of your character and your opponent trying to attack you. They are going to not hit you, even though it looks like they are, or they'll do heavily reduced damage, allowing you to stay in the fight longer. But if they get behind you, or maybe behind you or to the right or left of you, then all bets are off and they should be able to damage you. Super armor. This means that incoming damage will be reduced, and the effects that immobilize you, like stun, knockdown, freeze, etc., will not happen for a duration of time. Now there are indicators in the game on when someone has super armor on or not. You'll just have to pay attention to that and use your immobilizations at that time, or just do your best to throw as many immobilizations that you can at them to increase the percentage that you will get them knocked down. So that is how this works. Take a moment to look at everything here, and when you're ready, we're going to move on to gameplay where we show you what Choryeong can do. Here we go. And welcome. Before we get started, I'd like to show you where we're at. We're over here in Balanos, and we are at Kron Castle entrance, and we're always here. Well, we love it here. Their CP is 2,519, and ours is a measly 29,695. I think she'll be fine. So the way this works is we'll tap on this and go to an auto path. She will go and fight for 2, maybe 3 minutes, at which time we'll go to town, I'll give my outro and say thank you. So, without further ado, it is my pleasure to present to you the class, Choryeong. Here we go. And it's just about time for us to head back to town. So we'll just stop here. There we go, nearby town. So while this is loading, allow me to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the videos on this channel, please like, subscribe, let people know I am always making more videos, and there are always more videos left to do. So what we're doing here is putting Choryeong in a great pose with the background, and let's try out her emotions. We'll have her wave. That's cool. And how about have her clap? Let's see what that's like. Ah, very good. So we're just gonna do that a couple more times. Yeah, having her laugh too is nice. So once again, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much. And you have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye now.